Greetings everyone. In this lesson we learned how to identify irregular verbs, how irregular verbs behave in a sentence, distinguish between regular and irregular verbs, and identify the usage and form of the present perfect tense. Okay, first of all, what's a regular versus an irregular verb? From the word itself, regular, a regular verb is said to be regular because it follows a certain rule. Like kick becomes kicked. Okay, it follows a certain rule when changed to the past tense. Kick, kicked. I only added ed. Participate, participated. D. Study, studied. I added ied. Play, played. Volunteer, volunteered. Whereas with irregular verbs, we call them irregular because they don't follow a certain rule when we change them to the past tense form. See, saw. Eat, ate. Swim, swam. Drink, drunk, etc. Okay, so the following is a list of the most common irregular verbs which was given to you. It will come in handy. And the reason we learned the list of the most common irregular verbs is because we're going to use it in the next tense, which we're going to learn the present perfect tense. The present perfect tense, how do we form it? Okay, with have or has plus the past participle of a verb. So when we learn this list of irregular verbs, we learn what the past participle of those irregular verbs are because they do not follow a certain rule. Okay, let's take a look at the uses of the present perfect tense. When do I use this have or has plus past participle? Ahmed has studied for his math test. Action took place at an unknown time in the past. When that happens, I use the present perfect tense. Leah and Ali have attended ISI for 3 years. Action began in the past, continues in the present, and may continue in the future. This is the second use. Third use, action has a connection or an effect to the present, okay? For example, Jenny has seen a therapist. So obviously that affects her present, okay? So she is feeling better now, etc. The bell has rung. Obviously the students need to line up. Okay, those are very important notes to remember. The past tense and the past participle of regular verbs is the same. Example, play, infinitive or the base form, played, past simple, and played also past participle. Volunteer, volunteered, volunteered. Yet with irregular verbs, they do not follow a rule, so they have to be studied or memorized. But most of you probably know most of them. Like think, thought is the past tense and thought is the past participle. Put, put, put. Take a look at this. It's all irregular and does not follow a certain pattern. Swim, swam, swam. Drink, drank, drunk. See, saw, seen. Okay? The form, we talked about it previously. I have never seen the pyramids. This is have. Okay, we said we use have or has. Obviously with I we use have. And then the past participle of the verb see, which is seen. I have never seen the pyramids. Daniel has spoken to the counselor. Daniel is he has spoken to the counselor. The present form of verb to have. We make the present perfect tense by has or have plus past participle of the verb. Okay, negative and question forms, obviously. Sandy has suffered from issues with self-confidence since her childhood. Sandy hasn't or has not suffered. The not comes between the has and the past participle. Question, all we do with a question is crisscross. Okay, we learned that in the previous tenses too. Has Sandy suffered from issues with self-confidence since her childhood? Okay, we wrote sentences in class. They're all in your notebooks. Please go through them. And now, since and for. When do we use since and when do we use for? Those two words are regularly used with the present perfect tense and the present perfect continuous, which we're going to talk about later. Okay, Sam has played football for 7 years. Okay, why did we say for and not since? Because we use for when we're talking about an amount or period of time. Okay, he's played football for 7 years. But when I want to talk about the point of time when this action started, I say since. Sam has played football since 2012. Sam has played football since his childhood. Since he attended the school. Okay, point of time and not an amount or period of time. We also did those exercises in class. Okay, now the present perfect tense is often used with words like just, already, and yet. So please be careful with those. I have just met your new friend. Mind where we added the just. It's between the have and the met. Robert has already seen the movie. Also between the has and the seen. Between verb to have and the past participle. Okay. We haven't finished our homework yet. Have you finished your project yet? With the word yet, we use it with the negative form of the present perfect and with the question form, and notice that it's added at the end of the sentence only. Okay, have you seen the doctor yet? Has she attended the class yet? Okay, so it's used in the negative and question form, and it's written at the end of a sentence. Okay, we filled in the blanks in class, remember those. And the present perfect versus the past simple. You noticed, of course, that the present perfect tense, even though it's called the present, it is something that happened in the past. I have seen the movie. How is it different from the past simple? I saw the movie last night. Notice here, did we add any time word in the present perfect tense? No, we didn't. We just said I have seen the movie. And here I saw the movie last night. So action happened at an unknown or unspecified time in the past, and it has an effect on the present. I use the present perfect form, while we use the past simple form when we're talking about an action that began and ended in the past, and it has an effect on the present, and it happened at a specified time in the past. We did several exercises also in class. Okay, we corrected the one grammatical mistake. Please go through those very thoroughly, and this is what we did, and good luck.